After my husband's death in an accident, my sister invited me to her son's birthday. But when I arrived at the party, she publicly announced that the baby was my husband's and that she needed half of his $100 million inheritance. I asked, "Are you serious?" When she said yes, I couldn't control my laughter because my husband was. Please, before we jump right back, please tell us where you're watching from and the time. When Daniel died, the world around me shattered into quiet pieces. I wasn't the type to cry at funerals. But that day I sobbed like a child. He had been everything to me: husband, best friend, business partner, protector. We met when I was 22 and he was already on his way to becoming a tech mogul. I brought color into his gray world. He brought peace into mine. We had no children. Not by choice. Life had just happened differently. We'd been trying, but each month ended in heartbreak. Until we decided to live fully, just the two of us. And then a drunk driver took him away. No warning. No goodbye. Just me, alone in a sea of black suits, fake condolences, and whispers about money. Because yes, Daniel was worth $100 million. And yes, he left every penny to me. Or so I thought. 2 months after the funeral, my sister Olivia invited me to her son's birthday party. It felt odd. She hadn't reached out during the entire funeral week. Not even a "sorry for your loss." But now she wanted me to bring cake and balloons to celebrate her baby boy's first birthday? I wasn't in the mood, but I needed a break from my own head. "Just come," she said on the phone, sweet as honey. "Family's everything, right?" Right. Except that day, Olivia wasn't just planning a party. She was planning my public humiliation. It happened right after they sang "Happy Birthday." Everyone was gathered in the backyard, drinks in hand, kids playing in the inflatable castle. Olivia tapped her spoon against a wine glass. "Everyone," she smiled, holding her son close, "thank you for coming. Today isn't just about Noah turning 1. It's also about truth." I froze. She turned to me, voice full of fake sympathy. "Sis, I didn't want to do this in front of everyone, but you deserve to know. Noah is Daniel's son." Silence. Then gasps. "And since Daniel was the father," she continued, lifting her chin like she was proud of it, "I believe I'm entitled to half of his inheritance. For Noah." My jaw tightened. People turned to me, waiting for the drama to unfold. I looked at Olivia for a long second. Then I did the last thing she expected. I laughed. Loudly. From the gut. And when I caught my breath, I wiped a tear from my cheek and said, "Are you serious?" She nodded. And I smiled. "Then you clearly don't know my husband was sterile." The backyard was dead silent after I said it. You could have heard a balloon pop 3 houses away. But Olivia? She blinked. Once. Twice. Then she laughed nervously and waved her hand like I was being dramatic. "Sterile? Come on, you're just embarrassed. I know you guys were trying for years. Maybe he didn't tell you everything." "No, Olivia," I cut in, calm but deadly. "He told me everything. Including the fact that he had a condition, azoospermia. 0 sperm count. Confirmed by 2 specialists." Now everyone was staring. I stepped closer. "And you just publicly claimed your child was fathered by a man who physically could not have kids. In front of your friends. Your colleagues. Our family." Her lips parted, but no words came out. "My husband and I were already consulting adoption agencies," I added. "He even froze a statement with our lawyer. Just in case someone tried to pull this." I leaned in and whispered in her ear, "You should have read the will more carefully." Olivia didn't call me for a week. When she did, her tone had changed. No more sweet voice. Just sharp, cold demands. "You humiliated me," she hissed through the phone. "In front of everyone. You didn't have to do that." "I didn't have to?" I repeated, eyebrows raised. "You announced a fake paternity claim at your baby's birthday party. I have a right to some of that money. You think Daniel was perfect? I know things. I could make your life hell." I didn't flinch. Because I had already started putting my plan in motion. And Olivia? She had just handed me the final piece. Olivia wasn't wrong. Daniel wasn't perfect. No one is. But he was loyal. Honest. And above all, meticulous. Every financial document. Every email. Every shred of his estate had a trail. And while Olivia was busy spinning lies, I was quietly working with Daniel's old lawyer and a private investigator. Within 2 weeks they found it. Olivia had faked paternity documents. Forged a clinic report. Edited timestamps on photos. Fabricated texts from a burner phone she claimed were from Daniel. And even worse, she'd been siphoning money from our family trust fund before Daniel died. Thousands at a time. Hidden under fake expenses and dummy accounts. My own sister. What Olivia didn't know was that Daniel's will had something called a legacy clause. It stated, if any person is found falsifying paternity or legal documents to claim a stake in my estate, they will be permanently barred from any financial inheritance or trust connected to my name, and legal action will be pursued. The clause wasn't just legalese. It was a sword. And I was about to use it. 2 weeks after the birthday fiasco, Olivia got a knock on her door. A man in a dark suit handed her a thick envelope and said 4 words. You've been formally served. Inside, a lawsuit. Forgery. Fraud. Attempted estate theft. Defamation. Attached to the suit was a certified copy of Daniel's will, highlighting the legacy clause. And just in case she had forgotten, there was also a notarized letter Daniel had written months before his death. If anyone claims paternity of a child not biologically mine, please instruct my legal team to proceed with all consequences outlined in this document. That same day, I froze her access to the trust fund our parents left us. Legally, I could do that now. She had violated the family trust code. And just like that, Olivia was cut off. No more house payments from the fund. No more spa retreats. No more nanny. No more luxury SUV. She panicked. She screamed. She posted cryptic, angry rants on social media. And I watched it all, silently. At first, Olivia thought she could rally sympathy. She went online, painting herself as the grieving sister who just wanted justice for her child. But the internet doesn't stay loyal for long, especially when receipts show up. Thanks to Maya, my tech-savvy assistant, screenshots of the forged documents were posted anonymously on Reddit. Olivia's fake texts. The falsified clinic records. All of it. And people began connecting the dots. Why did she wait until the husband was dead to say anything? She said she loved her sister but then tried to take her money? This sounds like a Lifetime movie villain. The comments turned. The sympathy dried up. And Olivia? She disappeared from social media altogether. During the deposition, Olivia tried to save face. She showed up in designer sunglasses and a scowl, pretending to be calm. But when my lawyer slid a stack of evidence across the table, her face cracked. Bank transfers. IP logs. Security footage from a clinic showing she was never there the day she claimed to do a DNA test. And the piece de resistance? A video recording of Daniel, 6 months before his death, saying, Olivia's always had a sense of entitlement. If anything ever happens to me, make sure she never gets a dime. She doesn't need help. She needs consequences. Olivia broke down crying. But no one offered her a tissue. With her reputation destroyed and the lawsuit gaining momentum, Olivia tried one last trick. Blackmail. She showed up at my doorstep at 10 p.m., hair a mess, mascara smudged. I know things about you too, she whispered. You're not as clean as you act. I let her talk. Let her threaten. Let her dig her own hole deeper. When she was done, I handed her a flash drive. It held a full audio recording of our conversation. She gasped. You recorded me? I smiled. You came to my house threatening me. That's illegal in this state. She ran. And I called my lawyer. In the months that followed, Olivia lost everything. She was fined heavily for fraud. The judge ruled she must repay every dollar she had stolen from the family trust, plus interest. She lost her house. Moved into a small rental. And the worst? The man she claimed was Noah's real father? He filed for custody and won. Turns out he had no idea she was even pregnant. But when he learned she tried to pass his son off as another man's just for money, he fought hard. Noah was taken from her. Not because he was a pawn, but because even the court saw that Olivia was unfit. A week after Olivia lost custody of Noah, I found a letter tucked inside an old box of Daniel's. I'd seen it before. It was dated 2 weeks before his death. He told me, if anything happens to me, open this. But I never did. He'll know. My hands shook as I opened the envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter. Measured. Full of that unmistakable Daniel wisdom. If you're reading this, I'm either gone or someone has pushed you to a place I never wanted you to be. I need you to know something you've never known. Olivia tried to seduce me once. I froze. It was subtle. A few comments. A brush of her hand. Then one night she showed up drunk at my office and tried to kiss me. I pushed her away and never told you because I didn't want to come between you two. But I documented it. Just in case. I kept reading, heart pounding. You deserve peace. And if she ever claims anything, especially about a child, know that I was never unfaithful. I love you. Only you. At the bottom of the letter was a USB taped to the page. I plugged it into my laptop. There was a grainy but clear security cam video from Daniel's office. Olivia stumbling in, trying to lean into him. Daniel pulling away, clearly uncomfortable. He had saved everything. For me. Just in case. I didn't send the video to the court. I didn't post it online. I hand-delivered it to Olivia. I showed up at her tiny apartment, knocked, and said only 3 words. Watch this carefully. I stood in the doorway while she watched. Her face turned from smug, to confused, to utterly horrifyingly crushed. She tried to speak. I raised a hand. I don't need anything from you, I said softly. I just needed you to see what real love looks like. Then I walked away, heels clicking against the tile floor like a gavel pounding justice into stone. Life moved on. I kept Daniel's legacy alive. I started a foundation in his name for tech scholarships. I mentored young entrepreneurs. I smiled more, cried less. As for Olivia, she moved out of state. No one hears from her anymore. She sends me emails sometimes. One-liners. Apologies. Please. I never respond. Because forgiveness is a choice. And mine was to let her sit in the silence she built. Noah visits me during holidays. He's a sweet boy. Innocent. I never blame him. He brings me wildflowers and says, "Mommy says you used to be sisters." I just smile. Used to be. People ask me if I would have done it differently. If I wish I'd kept things quiet. Taken the high road. But I don't. Because there's something powerful in reclaiming your story. In exposing betrayal without stooping to cruelty. And in watching someone who tried to bury you realize. You were the seed. I didn't just survive. I thrived. And my laugh that day, when she stood in front of everyone and claimed a lie, it wasn't just from disbelief. It was from knowing I held all the cards, and she had no idea the game was already over.